on the radar producers, man. Yo, I got my guy Dougie on the beat. Philly, what up, bro?
Yeah, it was good, bro. How you?
Yo, man, I'm happy that we get to do this because I know you and I have been talking about this for a while, and it's been tough doing producer interviews because I used to go into people's studios and chop it up with them, but with our new reality of COVID, we got to do this on Zoom. But I'm hella excited to talk to you today, bro. I know you got a catalog, bro. You have like a catalog of dope records.
Appreciate that for real, bro. Same energy. I'm glad to be doing this too.
Yo,
This feel like everything new, virtual interviews and stuff like that. Crazy.
it really is, bro. And so before we kind of get to the meat of the records that you've worked on, give the people a little history about yourself. How did you get into producing in the first place?
I got into producing because I was just like, I started off rapping.
Okay.
And my uncle had this program called Music Development for the Youth. So my first time ever being in the studio, he was teaching me the process, teaching me like music theory and stuff like that. And then he showed me the production side. And once I seen that, I think that was my last day rapping for it. Like, I just wanted to do beats. I just was feeling that. Like, I made my first beat that day and laid my first song in the studio. So basically, I produced it and rapped on it.
That's dope. And you said that was your last day. Like, you was like, I don't want to spit no more bars anymore. I want to work. I want to make the beats now.
Yeah.
That's funny. And so getting into like all these records you got, man. First of all, congrats on the new Dave East record on Karma 3. Super dope with Trey Songs.
Yeah, good looking. I appreciate it.
Obviously you've done a lot of stuff for Meek. You were signed to the Dreams. You are signed to the Dream Chasers Imprint. So how did being from Philly and I'm coming up at the same time as Meek? How did all that how did that all come together? Working on 1942 flows. Save Me issues. Like, how did you first connect with Meek on all these records?
I connect with him because, it's a method like that. I feel like all other producers use too. If you can't reach the artist directly, reach out to the people around they can't. Reach out to the engineer. Reach out to their road manager or whoever person you see him with. And I was reaching out to different people, and I got an email on him. Then I was sending beats right to his engineer, like Cruz. I was sending beats right to him. Kept sending them, then it just stuck.
That's dope. And so you still working with Meek? I know you said you might have some new stuff coming up. Obviously I know you got some unreleased joints in the cut as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, definitely.
So what was it like when you got signed to that Dream Chasers, imprint? Because that's so crazy, man. Especially being from Philly, I'm sure for you that was a big moment and a big achievement in your career.
Yeah, definitely was. But it was crazy because before I even got to, I never seen this years ago. I never seen myself even working with me or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So for it to happen was crazy, and it happened it seemed like it happened sudden.
It was just out of nowhere type of situation.
Yeah, that's how it felt. Because it was so far fetched from me. I never thought it was gonna happen. I used to be talking to my homie back in the day. His name Quill. He passed. I used to talk to him all the time. He like, man, we gonna be the next DC. That's how we used to look at that situation. We gonna be like them and stuff like that. I never thought that I would be with them.
And so when you did all these all these records, man, at the time, did you know that they would kind of become the huge success that they are? Because obviously, 1942 Flows is a fucking amazing song. Save Me issues as well. When you was making these records, man, when you go into it, do you just did you have the feeling that these were gonna be hit records off the jump, or was it something that when it just happened, you were like, oh shit?
I had no clue. I just was making beats that I like. That's what I do. And I try to stay focused on me liking the beat actually, because that's what it really was. Me just hearing the beat, I'm putting it together and I like it. That's just that. So I never expected nothing to go big and go platinum like that. I didn't even know the record went platinum until somebody wrote it on Instagram. They wrote in my comments and was 1942 went platinum. I thought they was lying.
You was like, yo, why nobody tell me this before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even know it. And it was it happened probably a month prior to me even seeing it.
That's crazy. Yo, bro, they gotta hit y'all up when these things happen, man, because y'all the ones making the record.
I had a platinum record and a gold single around the same time. Issues went gold and 1942 went platinum.
This leads me to an interesting question, bro. What are, I guess, some of the challenges as a producer that you have faced? What are some things that you have dealt with over these years of production that have been hurdles for you to kind of jump over?
I think the hardest thing For real, it's like figuring out what you gonna do next. It's like, all right, you here, but now what's next? Because another thing is, I set them goals. I told myself, I said, if I don't get no major placement, I set this goal. Like I said, I think before I turned 21. I told myself, I said, if I turn 21, if I ain't got no major placements, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm gonna do something else because that means it ain't for me. So that gave me some. Like, I don't think I was gonna quit for real, but that's what I put in my head. And a couple months after that, that was my New Year's resolution. So a couple months after that, everything started falling in place. But it's like now that I set them goals and I got it out the way, it's like, what's next? It's like now you got to figure out what you want to do next and how to stay relevant for real.
And so, like, I know, like, when I talk to producers, a lot of them sometimes, you know, they'll talk about how, you know, this one dude I talked to the other week, he was talking about how, like, people would just take his beats and, like, make and make songs to it and not tell him. Do you ever, like, struggle with things like that? Like, are there ever, like, moments where people will, like, use your beat without asking you or anything of that nature?
Not really, because if you know how to like handle it, like business wise, you'll be good. Like I'm giving you an example. Like it's this platform called Airbit.
Okay.
And beats or stuff like that. It's like distribution. And so whenever you put a beat up or send a beat out, it's already in the system. So whenever it's somewhere that you hear it, you're gonna get a notification. Like, are they gonna get a copyright claim or something like that? Like, yeah, such and such using your beat. Or you're gonna automatically start getting paid off of it.
Okay.
And they got something on DistroKid called, I think it's called Distro Lock. You put your beats up on there, so whatever you send out, I will put it on there. And then when you hear it, it's like, it come right to you.
Got you. So there are ways for people to protect their beats and kind of like, you know, go through proper channels on, so people don't just steal their shit and make a record over it.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't know. That's all it be. It's definitely ways to prevent that from happening.
Aside from Meek, bro, you got a really long list of people, man, like a really dope list. You got Rick Ross, Kodak Black, T-Pain, Cash Doll. You got some joints on with Herbo, Roddy, Cowboy, Dave East, Favi, Smooth L. Like these, you got a long list. Who have been like your favorite people to work with, besides Meek? Like who have you had like really good experiences working with in the studio?
I feel like my favorite like experiences is working with artists like G Herbo.
Mm-hmm.
I like working with Cowboy. I never been to the studio like actually working with Dave East while he recording.
Okay.
But who else? Yeah, that's really like my top two, like Herb and Cowboy. Who else on the list too?
Come on, bro. You know your list. Cash Doll, Roddy, Smooth L, Buka 600.
I accept Buka. I never been in the studio with most of that list. That's a crazy thing.
Really?
I never even seen most of the people out there list in person before.
That's crazy. You would think that, like, you know, well, now in COVID times, I'm sure you sending stuff to people, but you would think that, like, you would be in the studio working side by side with them in some of these scenarios.
No, I never been in the studio with most of that list, but I've been in the studio with Buka before. I like how he record and stuff like that. So yeah, Herb, Buka, Meek, Cowboy.
So for you, man, like, so where do you want to be as a producer, like within the next, like, I guess 5 to 10 years? Like, what are your personal goals in production in the game? Like, where do you see yourself?
I see myself. I want to start dropping my own singles with artists.
Ooh, okay.
Like as like Dougie featuring, but I'm not rapping though. But I just like produce a track and I pick like, yeah, this artist and I hear you on this beat and like that, like more like full control over the record. That's what I'm looking towards.
You want to get on your DJ Khaled shit, but Philly.
Yeah, but what you mean like far as like Philly artists?
No, I just mean like you coming up out of Philly, so you like the Philly definitely. DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
And so when I've been talking to producers, man, so I've been asking, you know, them to give like advice to people or you know, kids who want to become producers or just starting off in the game. What advice do you have for I guess like the next generation of producers, like, you know, going based off your experiences? What would you like tell them to like look out for, how, you know, how to move, all that?
I would tell them collaborate more. Collaboration a major, kid, because you might not have a connect to something, but another producer might, and y'all collabing together might get it there. Use social media, because that made it way easier to get placements. So social media made it way easier. YouTube, mess with YouTube more, because you never know who's gonna blow. A lot of artists that's popping now is coming up from getting beats off of YouTube, and labels is looking on YouTube to sign them artists. and stay consistent, and that's it. Like, you really gotta have your own like motivation. Like, you can't like look for other people to motivate you and stuff like that. You gotta just do it because you love it. If you're doing it like looking for money or something like that, 9 times out of 10 it ain't gonna work. Cause everything, like when you're doing it naturally because you love it, everything else falls into place.
Boom, there it is, man. That was perfect. So anything else you got coming up that the people got to know about? Any new records? You know, I know you got a lot of unreleased joints. But anything coming up that you know for sure is gonna be coming out soon, or anything like that?
Everything just bubbling right now. I definitely got some stuff in the pot. It's just bubbling right now.
I know things are hard
Yeah,
during COVID times, right? You never really be knowing when shit's gonna drop or not.
yeah, stuff just be coming out of nowhere. But last week the joint just dropped. The record just dropped with I just did a joint for Young Blue, Gotti, and Flo Milli.
Oh, very dope, very dope. I did see that on the list. Yeah, Flo Milli's crazy right now. She going absolutely stupid.
I got that, and I'm just like, I've been messing with YouTube a little bit too, so trying to see what I find on there, and that's way easier than, you know, you have a bunch of artists DMing you all day, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you go in here, let me see what you can do. You ain't got it, I'll see it.
Yo, well, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to chop it up with me, talk about producing, all that stuff like that. Let the people know where they can follow you at, where they can get your beats at, all that beautiful stuff. Now's the time to plug it in.
Y'all can follow me on everything at Dougie OTB. My beats, I got a site set up. It's DougieOnTheBeat.com. I really can put it on Google. Just Google Dougie on the Beat, and the beat store gonna come right up. You can look on YouTube, you know, everything on there.
Boom, man. There it is. Yo, make sure you go follow him. Go cop some beats. And, yo, thank you again, bro. I'm very happy to have you on the show today, and I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to chop it up with me.
All right. Good looking, bro. Appreciate you, too.
Yes, sir. Dougie on the beat, on the radar, baby.